How
Hey
you doing?
guys, can you hear me?
Yep.
Hey, good to see you guys.
Good to see you. This is my brother Adam over here. I'm Frank.
Hi, Adam. Hi, Frank.
I'm actually going to let Adam talk to you for the first bit because he has his son is doing a martial arts test coming up here in about 45 minutes. So
Excellent.
yeah,
Okay.
I'm gonna take off in about 25 minutes.
Very cool.
Thanks for coming on our channel. We're really excited to do the interview with you, Ben. I know you've been in grip for 20 years or so, probably. And you've accomplished so many great things, and we're just excited to learn from you today, for sure.
Well, thank you.
So go ahead and just tell us a little about yourself and what got you into the grip sport and what motivates you to keep competing.
Okay. Growing up, I was in Goju karate, so I liked that. And I wrestled with people. It wasn't necessarily formalized wrestling, but I always had pretty good grip even growing up as a kid. My brother Joe got me into lifting weights when I was 15. So that was also fun. Back when my shoulders were good and I could actually bench like 6 days a week. Yeah, those were, yeah. Now it's no benching, of course, but yeah, then after that, worked a desk job, office job for a while and started tearing cards. I don't remember what I saw because that was back in like 1996, I think.
Oh, wow.
When I really started. Yeah. So then I just bought a bunch of cards, started tearing cards. That was before, I know I wasn't on the internet back then.
Mhm.
So, I just went around to stores and bought what I thought were easy cards and started that way. And about 2 weeks later, I was tearing a bunch of cards and yeah, it was fun. Then I started working at the jail, 2000, and also started another judo class at that time. So that obviously, I wanted to develop my hands even more. So I got some grippers from Iron Mine, my first ones. And then I just got the bug for the grippers, definitely. And I loved it. I wasn't necessarily really strong on the grippers. I could close the trainer for 10, both hands. And then when I got I think I got the one 6 months later, I could close it also 10 reps, 10 or 12. But I couldn't close my 2 for 9 months, actually.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Yeah, so I wasn't one of those guys that just exploded, said, oh, I closed it all the first time I got it. So, yeah, so it took me quite a while. And then the 3 was probably 3 years after that, after the 2.
Yeah, that's a huge gap.
Yeah, it is. But nowadays,
Was the 3.5 even around back when you started on the 3?
No, it wasn't, not at all. And the 2.5 wasn't around either. So I was buying
That's nuts.
Supermasters. Yeah. So it was hard. My number 2 also was an older one. So it was it wasn't a Silver Crush, but it was an older one. And I found out later that it was actually pretty freakishly hard.
Well, it benefited you then.
Yeah. So yeah, I never had it rated, but I'm guessing it was probably 115. It was something ridiculous like that. So it wasn't quite as bad. Once I finally got other people's grippers, somebody else after I closed mine gave me their 2, and it was like castanets compared to mine. So it's pretty neat.
Yeah, and meanwhile, we're out here looking for like 8 different number 3s to see how low we could go before we close to number 3.
Yeah, and that's fine. That's a good way to do it.
Yeah.
And I think nowadays it's a lot easier to do that because they have all these RGC ratings, I wish they had those when I started. I would have gone faster, I'm sure. Because I'm pretty OCD when it comes to writing things down, and I would like to know exactly what everything is and go from there, little steps, not huge steps.
So our biggest question to you is, how do you bridge that gap between the 2.5 and the 3, or in your case, I guess the 2 and the 3 was your main thing you focused on, and how do you get past that hurdle?
Well, the way I did it was different and not ideal to nowadays. I can tell you how I did it. Basically was I had a friend, I had a lot of friends, online that would give me tips. And one of them, this is not a 2, but it's a 1. So one of them actually chopped a 1/2 inch off of the handles, and, perfectly measured 1/2 inch off each handle on a number 2. And I think, that helped me quite a bit, even though it wasn't quite as specific as I would have liked it to be, because obviously when he cut them, the spread got narrower, technically.
Yeah.
If you think about it, I mean, because
Yeah.
you're not, yeah. So the spread got narrower, so that kind of hurt me, but it was essentially a 2.5. And I also had access to Supermasters, and back then they were pretty easy compared to what they became. So I just had to do tons and tons of volume, really. Because for me, that's what did it more. And learning how to set was a massive increase for me. Because all of mine from the earliest days was just, like no set stuff, like pick it up and then crush it, right?
Yeah.
And I kind of fought the idea, I guess, of deep setting, of learning how to actually set it. Because I thought, well, that's not really, why is that going to help me close something that I'm more, why is that going to help me wide set close? But it does. And I'm sure you guys have read and heard people say that it does. It's a massive help. So I started using that on my 3. Yeah.
Yeah, they move up on the credit card sets too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when did the Mash Monster wind up coming around? When did that actually change where more people were doing the closer sets?
I did mine in 2005, and I want to say maybe 2003 it came around. It was pretty neat.
So you were training for a while. So you didn't start with credit card then? You started before credit card?
I did. I started with credit card.
Oh wow.
2005. Yeah.
Okay. So they started the credit card then before 05 then, huh?
Yeah, right before that.
That's what I thought, like 04-ish, because I know that there's a couple number 4 closers on the list that are like early 2000s or something.
Yes. Yep. Exactly. Yeah, none of the number 4 closers have been with a credit card set, as far as I know, unless that's changed recently.
No, I don't think any of them have. I think there's been a couple guys that have shown that they've been able to do it with, like, you know, an open number 3 that's been used a little bit. I think we've seen that a couple times. Nathan Hole might be one of them that's done it.
Yeah.
A couple other guys that have done it.
Yeah, those guys are freak shows. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I also, so yeah, I did it with the credit card, both hands, and then no set, both hands, because it was mine. But it wasn't a hard 3. It was a 146 RGC, so it's like just like 146. I think 150 is about the average.
Yeah, so, like
so it wasn't a hard one.
Of average.
Yeah.
Close. Yeah.
Yeah, it's close. It wasn't like the easiest, by far not the easiest I've ever had.
We've got a 143 and a 146 we're working on.
Nice.
Yeah.
The 143, that's a very good one. I like that. Yeah, don't let anybody, hopefully nobody has tried to make you feel bad about having easy ones. Don't let them make you feel bad about it. Because I had looked for easy 3s for a long time, which makes sense to me. I wanted gaps, I wanted stair steps to get up there.
Oh, absolutely. If it says 3 on the bottom and it's unmutilated and I close it, that's good for me.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, there's nothing like it, is there?
No. So knowing what you know today, would you change how you approach getting after a number 3 or?
Yes. Yeah, I would not do the cut grippers. I would not use grippers that don't have, assuming obviously my goal is still number 3. Getting from like a 2 to a 3, I would buy only grippers that have about the same spread as Captains and Crush grippers. Because I think I know a lot of guys will tell me, they're like, well, I bought a narrow, an RB. You shouldn't, unless you have just unlimited money, I don't think that's not ideal. The narrowness just defeats it all. It's not the same.
Yeah. And
don't buy, even grippers that have the tinier handles. I don't think that's super helpful. I think you should buy 2.5, obviously, and that'll help you get there. And you should have, in my opinion, everybody should have their grippers rated, RGC rated.
Yeah.
And then that way, exactly, you can go on, Matt Cannon's a friend, but I go on to CPW, Cannon Powerworks, and I still look, even though I'm not even really actively training, I still look on there for grippers. I'm like, oh, that one fits, that one's 125, 127, things like that. I'm like, man, it would be so much easier just buying little stair steppers and then selling them, if you don't need them anymore, but it's so nice.
Yeah.
Because nowadays the COC cert now is number 3 straight out of the packaging too.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, that's a little different. I mean, they range all over the place. Still.
Yeah, I mean, a credit card closer could be a 138 gripper or a 159 gripper. That's crazy.
That's very true.
Wow.
I don't know if you guys have ever heard of.
All about the luck.
So Jason Payne, one of my buddies, has a number 3. It's an old one, old steel handled one, and it's rated in the 190s.
Oh, that's the Mutant, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have not closed
that
the
sucker,
Mutant.
right? No?
Yeah, I have definitely not closed the Mutant.
That is crazy.
I just wanted to get that out of there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why I kind of laugh when I hear guys say I won't certify until I can close all of them. I'm like, oh, you probably won't.
Yeah, you probably never certify then.
I've seen Andrew Durniot fail on that thing too. So
Wow,
he's a
that is
beast.
crazy. That's a heck of a 3 gripper. Wow, that's weird.
Yeah.
What happened with that sucker? What?
I don't know. I mean, it's really wide. It's
check the spring. It's the same size.
yeah, it's the same
Of course,
size.
check everything. Yeah.
It's crazy. It has like a 3 1/4 inch spread, and I just don't get it. It just doesn't feel right at all.
That's a good. You mentioned spread, and you shouldn't get narrow grippers. What about a guy with like a 7-inch hand? I mean, I know there's been guys that have gotten really high, like Timu.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He had like I think 6 and 7, 8-inch hands, or just right around 7-inch, and he was closing a number 4 at a
He was fantastic. He's super strong. I maybe I misspoke, but I meant for training because I love narrow grippers. Actually, I love the feel of them. I like no setting much better than anything else. But I meant just specifically if it's a guy, assuming like a normal size hand. I think even a guy with a 7-inch hand, if his sole goal is the number 3, I wouldn't buy narrow grippers. I know it sounds basic, but again, unless you have tons of money, I would just get used to a 3-inch spread or 2 3/4 at least. So I think the GHP grippers are great too. They have a nice bite on them, which I like.
That's what I've heard. I haven't been on those yet. But
You really haven't? Okay.
Fantastic.
They're great. They also make little tiny grippers.
Oh, that's awesome.
I bought these for my daughter. Yeah, they're fantastic. She knew I was getting interviewed. She's like, make sure you tell those guys I can close that for 30 reps. No set. I'll tell them.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, good for her. That's awesome. 30 reps.
Yeah. Funny. But yeah, grippers like that. Like I do like baraband grippers, but they're usually so narrow. You can get the ones that aren't narrow. I think they're pretty helpful then. But they also have they're a millimeter larger diameter, I believe. The handles are.
Yeah, okay.
So it's not the same. And it just for training purposes, like I said, if it's someone that just has that cert in their mind, the Iron Mind cert, I would go all the way, just buy Iron Mind grippers and don't buy any outliers.
Okay.
Don't buy the ones that are over 3-inch spread, and don't buy the ones because I have seen a few that are like 2 and 5/8 inch spread, which is that's extremely narrow really for an Iron Mind gripper.
Okay. Yeah, we have some real narrow ones. We have some wide ones. Most of our grippers, honestly, are off ground. Unfortunately, the only Iron
that's cool.
we have are let's see, the 3s. We have 2 3s that are Iron Mind. I think Evan's got a number 2 that's Iron Mind, and then everything else we have is heavy grips, GNCs, and bone crusher. But I actually like the GNCs. Yeah, the thin handle's awesome.
Yep.
We got lucky. Yeah, one that's 124 pounds, and it's just
nice.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. That's like right at the number 2.5 level, pretty much. So yeah, I don't mean to sound like a gripper snob. I have all kinds of grippers. I like like $3 grippers all the way up to the super nice ones. At work, it's funny because officers they know about that I like grip, obviously. And so they'll come in, they'll be like, hey, I got this gripper. I'm like, oh yeah, I don't care what it is. So a lot of heavy grips out there too.
Yeah, that's awesome. So what do you would say, other than using grippers, what would be your top 3 favorite exercises to work on your grip strength to help you actually close a gripper later? That's kind of transferable skills.
Oh, to a gripper? This is a great question. One of them is strange, but I've thought it for years. 1-inch vertical bar for me had a massive carryover to grippers. The strongest I've ever been on grippers was when I was pulling a little over 416 at one time on vertical bar with no hook grip.
A lot of people steer away from that because of the big Chris James injury.
Yes.
Of course, we know about that, the history behind that. So,
Yeah.
what do you recommend to avoid injury when you're using a 1-inch vertical bar? We have a 2-inch
You know-
bar that we use, but we stepped away from a 1-inch just because we thought, oh man, I don't want to get injured.
Yeah, and I'm not even sure, honestly, that I would necessarily recommend it to everybody, but it just worked for me. So I always have to tell people, you know, that whole buyer beware type deal. It worked very well for me, and I don't know if it's, I honestly don't know why, but I look back on all my training logs, and always when my strength was the highest, it was always with 1-inch V-bar. So that didn't take away from it. Skin tears, if those happen, that will mess you up, obviously, too. So that's another con, another minus on the 1-inch V-bar. But in terms of avoiding bicep injuries, they could go more supinated grip instead of, you know, supinated like this, holding on to it, instead of super pronate or super, I'm sorry, I was backwards. Instead of going super supinated where they grip onto it like this, like I used to,
Yep.
they could go pronated where they're overhand grip on it.
Okay. Yeah, most of the time I've seen them grab it, the supinated, and then rotate it to a pronated.
Yep.
Yeah. So.
Because I've never felt any kind of bicep pressure when I go pronated, but I can't lift as much. And so I think most people are the same.
Yeah, Chris was probably lifting like, 1 million pounds when he did that.
Yeah, exactly.
At least 1,000.
Ludicrously strong.
Yeah, he's awesome. So that's two. So 1-inch V-bar, I loved, like I said. I don't know if I'd be able to do that now these days because my recovery isn't the same. But I would also do farmer's walks at this point. Because I think a lot of guys, I run into a lot of younger officers that already have pretty high gripper strength. And that's because, and even if they don't mess with grippers, these guys do a lot of farmer's walks.
It's funny you say that. One of the strongest grip guys we brought over here was actually a SWAT officer.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Without training on grip, he held the 45.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
God.
so we were really surprised by that. But he said he shoots a lot of large caliber pistols, and he does a lot to control his wrist strength. And
Nice. So yeah, I think that obviously would be a good thing. Like 1-inch handles, I don't think you need 2-inch handles really when it comes to grippers. And another, you know, I didn't do a lot of pinch or anything like that, but I think thick bar, I did a fair amount of like rolling thunder through the years. I don't do it now, but
it makes a lot of sense because it's about the same diameter as a gripper.
Yeah, as when you're holding the grippers together, right? Yeah.
That's awesome.
I did tons and tons of singles. I liked singles mostly on grippers, and that's what really helped me the most.
Oh wow, because I hear a lot of the whole you got to do reps thing. You know, you got to do 5 reps before you move to the next gripper, or so many reps before you move to the next gripper. So hearing someone say they did a lot of singles and started at 3, that's pretty cool. I like doing a lot of singles as well.
Because I look back I was looking the other day at my training log before I went down there to certify, and it was, you know, a couple months before, and I worked midnight shift in the jail so I could bring my grippers. It was awesome. And I worked 12-hour shifts so I could take as much rest as I wanted. So I would do hundreds of no set number 3 closes, both hands throughout a shift, up 300 sometimes.
Jeez.
Yeah, and obviously I didn't just get there overnight, but yeah, I went from 2 years before that doing the same with the number 2 to it felt like overnight doing it with the 3, just adding volume. Singles though, I only like singles. I think reps would work fine because it seems like everybody else talks about reps, so reps work for more people, I think. But I was doing so many, you know, my volume is still high, so I don't know if the body even knows the difference. I know that obviously when you do a single, you're gonna have more pressure behind each close, because you're not gonna be losing as much doing a rep. You know what I mean? Losing strength on each rep.
Right.
But yeah, I'd do stupid stuff like 1,500 reps, no set on a trainer, 800 on the one, just dumb stuff. But I used to think maybe I got the 3 cert in spite of that, but like I said, I keep looking back on these training logs. I'm like, no, it increased.
Yeah.
So I just kept increasing.
Well, the radical reps baseline training was a thing then. So
Yeah, no. Yeah.
definitely works. I think that's how we all kind of grew up working out, is, doing volume. We'd have to be in, especially, I mean, in high school, when you could work out 5 days a week, 5 days a week, 2 or 3 periods a day, and just get in the gym 2-3 hours and just keep going.
Sure.
It's fine. I'll work out in the morning, after lunch, before I go home.
Yeah, I just wish my joints were that good anymore.
Right? Figure I could do so much smarter training now.
Oh yeah. Oh, definitely. So yeah, now obviously I don't waste like 12 hours on a gripper workout. I do kind of some maintenance gripper work lately, just because I don't want everybody to pass me by, really. For the few times at work when somebody brings one up, I don't want to fail on a 2, and that's about my standard. So but yeah, once in a while. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say, what do you say is your best recovery tip after doing, high volume like you did, or after a super good grip workout and you really just blew up the forearms and wrists and stuff? What do you think is one of the most important things to recover from that kind of training?
You're going to laugh probably, but washing dishes. Seriously, I never did any kind of contrast baths or anything like that, no cold. But yeah, my best times were always, I would do that. And if I was at work, I would, I'd get off work after this massive amount of volume, and then I'd come home and wash the dishes.
His wife's gonna be making him wash the dishes every day.
I know.
I can't let her watch this now.
Yeah, I know, probably not. But yeah, that I credit that to quite a bit, actually. I wasn't even thinking about it, of course, but because I've kept track of everything I did, even afterwards when I was looking for this cert. And yeah, that's what I did a lot afterwards. I'd do massive volume, and then I'd go home and wash dishes.
That's a double win. Makes the wife happy, and you're recovering.
It's kind of funny, though. It sounds like she's making me say that, like pointing a gun at me, but she's not.
That's awesome.
The wife's like, why are you always washing dishes? I got to work out my grip routine. I mean, my hands hurt, so I got to wash the dishes to feel better.
I wish I could tell you that I did like the extension bands, but I never did, and I probably should have. Somehow I avoided any issues with that, but
That's incredible. Everybody swears by some extension work.
yeah, pretty funny.
I did none. I only had grippers when I first got into Gripsport, which was pretty early too. It was like 97 or so. And my first set was single stamp, so it was the old ones. And I only played with grippers. That's all I ever did for, I don't know, 10 years or so. And I only went from the trainer to roughly the 2.5, but without doing any other work whatsoever, just crush. You can make some pretty good gains.
Oh yeah, I agree. Yes, I do. Yeah, the 2.5 is solid. I don't care who you are. That's not a usual commonplace deal. Only on the Gripboard is it really?
Yeah.
We tend to poo-poo it, and then you show a normal person, they're like, "Oh my god!"
Exactly.
Right.
And I know it's 10 years of just grip training work, because man, I can't catch up to him quite yet, but I could have beat him in every other damn lift we have. And then he comes out to grippers, and I'm like, how do you do this?
He's got a stronger dyno pool than me, but because I learned the whole setting thing, it made a huge difference. Like I can only pull maybe a little over 150 on the dyno, but I can close like almost a 140 gripper.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
That's really unusual. I think that's pretty strong.
Yeah, it's all just set. I just have a decent set.
Nice.
The rest of it.
Do you guys do no set work too?
Yep.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah,
So,
no,
yeah, even though
we do some coin holds and like
okay.
the weighted silver bullet type stuff.
Very nice.
Holds.
Yeah, we do some
yeah.
chokers, things like that. So we don't do any negatives really. Heard that can kind of be a little bit of a gray area if it will hurt you a lot or you make gains or not. So.
Like injury wise, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys do any 2-finger closes?
Yep. Been really working on 2-finger close with the bottom two.
And we had some conical cones, fat grip things that go from like, I don't know, 1.5 to like 2.5 inches almost. So we work that pinky and ring finger a lot. So I know how important that is when you're finishing a close.
Very nice. Yeah, I've definitely been showing some of the guys at work the 2-finger stuff because I like it too. I think it's just kind of fun. But
yeah,
So you mainly
And
do your top close and then you flip it upside down for the bottom two finger?
yeah, yeah.
All
I
right,
also
man.
like,
I'm going to take off, so I'll hand you over to Frank. I got to get going. So it's great having you. Great
have a great day. Thank you very much.
And I will
Good luck to your son.
pick up and watch this stuff later.
Good luck to your son.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
He's super excited.
That's awesome.
All right. Tell Jay to do his best, man.
Oh, I will.
Cool. Awesome. So you disappeared from the grip world for a little while.
I did, yeah.
And you came back, what, a couple years ago?
Yep.
So how has it been since you've gotten back into it? How much strength did you lose, and how have you came back, and how has it built back up?
Well, I got out of it partly because I had a daughter. So she's almost 8 now. And so obviously I knew I was spending a bunch of time on the boards, and my garage looks like some grip palace, you know. It's not nice, but it has just a bunch of stuff in it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I went away from it. I kept a pretty decent amount of base strength. And I mean, I still did light kettlebells. I had a couple of, I had a little bit of I don't know, like transient ischemic attack. Had a couple of those, 2012. So I knew I'd better, you know, focus more on actually not dying. Doing some of the, you know, like bending steel, all that was catching up to me, I think.
Yeah.
And it wasn't, yeah, go ahead.
It's super intense, you know, those kind of workouts. Have you reduced your intensity like quite a bit since?
Oh yeah.
Since then, yeah, with age and
Yeah.
whatnot.
Well, exactly. And I am obviously older. I started at the grippers when I was 25. Now I'm 45. So my recovery ability has gone way down. But yeah, my base strength stays no set about a 2.5, like an easy 2.5. And top strength would be like a really easy number 3 parallel set.
Okay.
So yeah, nothing to write home about, but not terrible. I mean, nothing, yeah, nothing awful at least.
No, that's still strength to carry into the rest of your life and be really happy with, I'd imagine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But I do like 2-inch V bar a lot, and I always have. So that still sticks around. I don't do 1-inch V bar because I sold it, and I'm glad I did, because if I didn't, I would still be hitting it, and I'd either have a stroke or, I mean, seriously, I almost degloved my hand on a 410 once. It started to pull off. Yeah.
That's insane.
So again, I know it's weird to say, hey, that helped me with my grippers, and then in the next, you know, like 10 minutes later, tell you, yeah, I almost pulled my hand off. But
that's what we've heard about the 1-inch V bars. It's something you got to be very careful with.
yeah, it's weird.
It'd be fun to get shot though. Yeah.
Yeah. Some people it just really suits.
So with intensity, I think one of the more intense things people do in grip is bending typically. And I've heard that you've gone pretty far with your bending. I know I've seen you do some like 3.5 square or some really just crazy short, hard stuff. And tell me about your workbench and your bending intensity.
Okay. So I've done the 4-inch bastard, double underhand modified, and with fat pads, and then double overhand. And yeah, I'm glad you reminded me about the workbench out in my garage. It's kind of I mean, it's funny now because, like I said, I understand why I was having these health issues, and part of it is because I would go out there, and it was about waist high. So I would wrap up anything I was about to bend super tight, and of course I'd lean over slightly, and then when I would routinely black out on something that was super hard bend, because I kept holding the ISOs longer and longer and longer, I would just fall onto the workbench. It would catch me. And I remember thinking, and it's dumb, it is very dumb. But now that, you know, thinking all that time back then, I was like, man, I'm so smart, because it's, you know, I'm letting it catch me. I'm getting really strong. And I got really, really strong in a short time. But honestly, I actually started bending in 2000 also. But I was not a good bender. I didn't bend. I think it took me, God, I want to say 2 years to bend a yellow. So I don't know. I always did it double underhand. I was never anything to write home about. And finally, I decided I'm going to work on, I think it was 2006 when I decided I was going to work on my double overhand.
Okay. I never did anything else. I just did double over to start.
Yeah.
I only think I did like maybe 10 bends before I got the red nail.
Wow, God, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I found the groove, I
Yeah,
guess, because after I got some instruction from someone, it went from just quarter inch to red nail like it was nothing. It felt like I put in 40%
Yeah,
of the same effort that I put in on my other bends.
that is nuts.
So, yeah, I was doing it all wrong. I was bending down, using my wrist
Yeah.
and everything, and I was doing everything wrong. Yeah, when I figured it out, it was almost like the red wasn't as big of an achievement anymore. I felt like, oh
Yeah.
man, that's lame. So
Yeah, that is cool, man. That's fast. Because it took me forever. It took me about 8 months of double overhand. And I knew benders who, were top tier guys who would show me and it wouldn't click. I don't know what it was. And I had flexibility back then. It's just really, and then one day it clicked and oh God, from there it's fast.
Yeah.
Everything went.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know, it's that awkwardness of pinching your shoulder blades so far back, and once they mentioned that, there's this Tai Chi stretch we do that involves putting our shoulder blades far back behind us and then trying to put them in your back pocket,
Yeah.
lower them down like that.
Uh-huh.
And once I was told it was pinching the shoulder blades, I just said, oh, I know what to do.
That's awesome, man. 10 bends, my God.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. So let's see. Oh yeah, our next guest is going to be Adam Glass. He said he met you in the past, and he said hi.
Yes.
He's excited to come on and tell us about grip and get some golden potatoes.
That's cool, man. Adam Glass is a great guy. I've always liked that. I would rate him as top 3 and honestly in the world, just in whatever you want to do, especially plate curl, obviously, but I've seen him do some cool stuff.
Yeah, the plate curls, man. We've just gotten into that. Those are intense.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
I was never into plate curls, but yeah, they're neat. I've done them a couple times. Wasn't strong.
Yeah, it's interesting. I feel like these exercises come up. Like I've said, everybody's on plate curls right now, and then they'll disappear for a while. And a new exercise will come up for a while and disappear for a while. But all these exercises are actually like documented back in John's old books and old grip training stuff. So it's all just stuff that kind of just gets forgotten about and brought back up again. But it's all the same thing I've been doing for 30 years.
It's pretty cool. I like looking at these old grip catalogs, and things like that, and seeing things that I thought, well, maybe we invented it, and I'm like, no, we didn't, not at all.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You can go back really far, and you find guys in the early 1900s, late 1800s doing grip stuff that we didn't even know we aren't even using. I'm just like, wow, look at that. That's a great idea. Yeah, it's really neat. Well, it was equipment. Steel was cruddy back then, so everything had to be giant, super thick.
Yeah.
That's all it was. So let's see. So what's your greatest blunder or injury?
My greatest blunder or injury? Is that what you said? Oh man. Let me think. It's not very funny, unfortunately, but at the 2008 Backyard Bastard Bash, I stopped by. We were driving. My wife and I were out. We were out on a huge road trip, and we decided to stop by. So I tried a hook grip when we were doing the Hercules hold, and I shouldn't have. I tried it left-handed, and I knew it was going to be heavy, so I was like, I'll try a hook grip, whatever. And I don't hook grip. So I couldn't let go of it, and it tore my shoulder completely out of socket.
Ooh. That's
Yeah.
Now we know why people don't do hook grip on the Hercules.
Yeah. And then we had an 11-hour drive home. And so I walk out, I'm holding out, I'm like, oh God, but I did win a sword, so it was worth it.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So we go back over to the car, and she manages to rip it up and get it back into place for me. It was awful, but at least it went back into place.
Yeah, exactly. Gotta pop it back in, man.
Yeah, God.
Yeah, the knurling on Hercules hold, man, that's brutal. If that thing rips out of your hand, that is something
it was
else.
nuts.
Yeah,
I just couldn't let go of it.
We picked up a knurled axle that rips out of your
Oh,
hands. It's brutal.
like a 2-inch axle.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
More than 2-inch power bar. We're using it to overload, do more weight on that, and then go back to the smooth and seeing how.
Very cool. I
Yeah,
think that's smart.
fun little challenge there. But yeah, you got to hold on to that sucker because it's got some deep knurling, and you're afraid it's going to just tear that thing off. It's neat.
Yeah.
What's your favorite piece of equipment you have at home?
Ooh. Let me think. Right now, this isn't really grip related. Well, I mean, it is a little bit, but right now it is probably a trap bar
Okay.
that my wife bought me for Christmas. And it has little feet on it so that when if you do farmer's walks with it, you set it down, you don't have to, and it's set up high enough where you can put plates on it without, it has a base so you can put plates on it. You can load it without having to tilt up one side of it.
Jack or anything. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. That's a neat frame carry device. That's great. Yeah, we use ours for frame carry too, but it doesn't have
Nice.
feet.
Yeah, I love that. I don't go heavy. I just,
real thin handles on it, so we like that. Yeah, it's a lot different than the farmers, which has a big fat handle. So
exactly. Yep.
yeah. And it's totally different. We thought that we were doing a farmer's walk type thing when we were using our trap bar until we got farmer's walk handles, and boy, the way the weight is distributed on you is entirely different.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really
Which do you like better though? Which do you like the feel of both of them?
I think I like the farmer's walk better.
Cool.
I don't know. I like the feeling, the taxing on my arms a little bit more.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yep.
Frame carry, it's definitely a core thing for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, they're both. I agree. I'm not a farmer's walk snob either.
No, we do all kinds of weird farmer's walks. We do it with our potatoes. We do it with rocks. We have a couple rocks that are good for gripping, shaped like blobs, things like that. Big river rocks that we found nearby and things like that.
I've seen some of that on your site. The potatoes are hilarious. Like I said, I got the biggest kick out of that when I saw that. Your golden potatoes. I was like, man, I like these guys already. I don't care.
Yeah, they were partly inspired by the whole Tommy Helsep,
yeah.
strength feat that he does with the crushing the raw potato.
Yep.
We figured if people are pinching walnuts and picking them up to work on their walnut pinch, we're gonna make a potato.
I agree.
Work on your potato pinch.
Yeah, that's funny.
We're hoping someday to be able to pull off that feat.
Man.
I don't know though. That's pretty up there, man.
So are you still working on are you wanting to do the COC cert, the 3 cert?
I don't know if I really care to do the cert. I definitely want to at least get Mash Monster 0.
Okay, good.
Yeah, so I'll be happy with that.
Nice.
Yeah, the credit cards, I have really, really short fingers, and a really big palm, so it makes it a little tough. I have these little stubby fingers.
Yeah, you do.
Huge palm, so
Yep.
a little tough to reach around for the credit card and whatnot, but maybe.
That's
maybe.
Mash Monster certs are cool as hell, man.
Yeah, if I can get Mash Monster, then I'll work from there. See,
Right on.
what I get from there. Yeah. I mean, I mostly do it. I don't really do it as grip sport. I do it because I do a lot of martial arts stuff. So I do it for self-defense reasons and just for training purposes and whatnot, and to demonstrate to some of the grapplers, what they can do if they train their grip a little more.
Yes, I like that.
So yeah.
I'm sure you probably know this, and I don't know if your grappler friends do, but I have always felt that training, like, again, just the number one, but that part has massive carryover to grabbing clothing.
Yeah.
I've always felt that.
Absolutely. I've been trying to do a lot more stuff to work on clothing, like using bath towels for pulley handles,
Mhm.
and just grabbing them tight and doing different various things with cloth, and thin sandbags, like that. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, very nice. So yeah, I definitely believe that will help any grappler, and I know it does because I talk to guys at work, officers, and have them start on the grippers, and then they always tell me like, yeah, a bunch of them do jujitsu and some of them do judo, so they're always saying, yeah, they can't pull out of my hands anymore. Like, right on.
Yeah, the grippers help you with I think help you with the locks. And then it's the fingertip stuff, like the pinch stuff, that really helps you if you force to grab a gi.
Yes,
Absolutely.
definitely.
So, what's your greatest athletic achievement?
I would say it's it's not like a much of a dynamic movement, nothing running related or anything, but I am probably most proud of my big 1-inch V-bar pulls.
Okay.
Like the top one I didn't do in a contest, but I did 416.
Wow.
I'm most proud of that.
What's the 1-inch record?
Not 416. It's over 4. It's like 410, I think, something like that.
Oh wow. So you're right at the record then.
I'd be right up there, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome, man.
Now that nobody does it anymore. But yeah, because I didn't start super high on that. I started when I bought the Fat Bastard bar, I think I did 226 the first day, and I was okay with that. So it's fun.
Wow, that was 200-pound improvement. That's crazy. Yeah. How long did it take you to make those gains? Go from
Oh man,
416.
I think it took 2 years.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not long. That's not long at all. It's amazing how fast some guys go up in grip. It's crazy.
Yeah. It took a while. I also love the 2-inch V-bar though. I finally hit 300 in a contest a while back. So yeah, that was nice too.
And that's just raw at the top, the actual 2-inch V-bar. So we make most of our stuff. We honestly make most of the pieces, and then later, if we want to buy them, we will.
Which is good. You'd probably pull more on the real thing. Yeah. I said you'd probably pull more on the real thing, which is good. Your training.
Okay. Is the real one just raw metal, or does it have any knurling or anything at all? Or
raw.
Just raw.
Yeah, raw metal. The one, the Fat Bastard one, it's great. It's heavy, but it is raw metal and it holds chalk very well.
Yeah. That's what we have. Is just ours is just raw metal as well. And then we just leave it out in the elements, try to get it to kind of rust a little bit.
Oh yeah, perfect.
Yeah, that looks great. But yeah, it's just black iron.
Actually, that's just like the Usawa V-bar. Those are harder. Those don't hold as much.
Yeah, we really have to let things season and to get chalk to hold. So yeah, we made the mistake of buying a galvanized handle for our 1-inch dumbbell trainer that we put together, and it's slick. But that's fun.
That is fun.
So let's see. So lifestyle habits, like outside of grip, what do you do that's just to keep you healthy and fit lifestyle wise?
Oh, I walk a lot. I do dog walks. I walk with my family a lot. I like kettlebell workouts.
Okay.
Pretty light stuff now, but more like cardio kettlebell stuff. So pretty light. But yeah, I feel like it makes me feel better and keeps my weight down somewhat. So yeah. And I know it doesn't hurt grip wise. I mean, it's not like any of that's building grip, but it's not going anywhere.
Exactly. It's still gets you that grip itch because you're snatching those kettlebells, you're grabbing them the time you're tossing them. So
exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. I can see that definitely. Kind of got to do what you love when you do your cardio. Otherwise, you're not going to get it.
Exactly.
That's the way it is.
Yeah, I just do swings because the snatches hurt my shoulders too much. So
you'll never see me out there jogging. Almost never. You'll see me on a punching bag. You'll see me riding a bike, but you won't see me jogging. It's just yeah. Cardio's got to be fun, I think.
I do jog actually too, but it's more like a once a week type deal, twice a week. Just because I want to be able to, if I need to respond to something at work, I have to be able to. Yeah. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of that obviously anymore. So I saw in your other video you had, I think it was with Joy, you had your little dog.
Yeah, actually, someone just came in and showed me some stuff that they just picked up to make sure they got the right thing. So
That's funny.
Our little dog is our kind of our garage mascot. She comes out here and works out with us whenever we're.
Is it Peaches?
Yeah, Peaches. She's an old Chihuahua. She's 15, so she's
pretty cute. That's awesome.
She's getting up there. We're actually looking at possibly moving into a new place in this next year, so that'll be really.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that'll be really exciting. So
I like your wooden dummy in the background too, by the way.
Oh, my Wing Chun?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I built that sucker. It's great.
That's cool as hell, actually.
Yeah, it has really good movement. The leg is just I don't know if you can see the leg here.
Yeah, I can see it like a pipe.
Yeah, the leg exactly.
Awesome.
I just made that from pipe, 2 pieces of pipe put together, and then the foot actually will drop to the floor. So, and it's mobile. I can move it wherever I want. Yeah,
I've been checking
in a
that
couple
out.
buckets there. You see?
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, I've been in martial arts since I was very young, and I've always wanted the Wing Chun.
Nice.
So I figured with the quarantine going on, not being able to train with other people, I better make myself a dummy. So
That's pretty cool.
that was definitely important to me. That's one of my favorite DIY ones. That and the concrete blocks. Concrete blocks are amazing. I can't believe how well they turned out. But yeah, that's something I think everybody, if you can't get your hands on a block or you don't have a ton of money, definitely get a hold of us to make a concrete one, because those things
The concrete ones look cool too, honestly. I think they look really neat.
Yeah, I'm really happy with the way they turned out. What DIY stuff have you done at your place that turned out?
Oh man, I did a DIY flask, but I am not nearly at your level. I'm a million years away from your level. So mine looked pretty hinky, but it turned out to be perfect. I mean, I have a flask.
DIY flask too. We just used 2 round pieces of wood.
Yeah.
Yeah, just cut that down, shaped it. The right dimensions too, almost exact.
Yeah, that was hanging up right back there in your. Yeah, I think I can see it.
Yeah, this guy right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just ran a grade 8 through it and some chain.
Oh wow, that looks great, man.
And yeah, it works great. Enjoy it quite a bit. Adam's pulled about 205 on this sucker.
Oh God, really?
Yeah. So, and on an actual flask, he's more in like the 175, 180 range.
Dang. Okay.
Yeah, we get a little more out of that. Yeah, he's kind of a monster. He hasn't done grip hardly at all, and he's came out already with a 72-pound 3-inch hub lift, and just, I mean, insane stuff right off the bat.
Oh wow!
I'm excited to see where he winds up.
Yeah, that's some serious hubbing.
I've been playing around with grip for a long time, and I'm nowhere near where he's at, so that'll be cool.
Dang, man.
I think he did 336 on our knurled axle last time he picked that up, and he's only done the axle for like 3 weeks or something.
Oh wow!
A month, something like that. So
wow, that's very impressive.
He's a big dude, though. He's 280 pounds.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, he's a big dude. So he's got 8.5 wrists, you know.
Yeah, that's pretty solid.
Yeah, built to be able to do stuff pretty quick.
You ever been able to get one of the grab balls, one of the new grab balls?
No, I haven't done the grab ball. We have a baseball that we're using. It's
okay.
Not really the same, but it's somewhat similar.
Yeah, the grab balls are cool. I had buddy gave me one. I'm like, yeah, that's pretty neat, actually.
We actually heard from someone that did the King Kong that has also come over at our gym and worked out with our potatoes that the golden potato lift is very similar to a grab ball lift.
Interesting. Okay. Well, good to know.
So the golden potato lift, you can't touch the bottom and you can wrap your hands in like a claw shape.
I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, there's 3 separate grips with that. You'd think that the deadlift, you could get a ton of weight on the deadlift.
Yeah.
You can't. It hurts your fingers too much. You're trying to dig your fingers into concrete. It's a total pain tolerance thing.
I love it.
That is brutal. So, yeah, we're excited to see what you pull with the golden potato. That'll be really neat. We're expecting some big numbers to come up soon. We got some chocolate coming on and things like that. So that'll be cool.
Exactly.
So who else in the grip world do you think we should have on?
Oh man, that's funny. I was gonna say Adam Glass, obviously, but you're already having him on, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'd say Clay Edgen, somebody like that.
Yeah.
One of our old school guys.
Yeah, he'd be cool to have on.
And you also said you're gonna have
a bunch of knowledge.
You're gonna have Derek on, right?
Yep.
Excellent. Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna be talking about mostly the mental aspects of steel bending.
Okay.
Yeah, he has a lot of mind control when it comes to it. He definitely does it with a lot of mental fortitude. You can tell, and his intensity is up there. So I kind of feel like maybe Gaza was legit based on the way he was built. Mm-hmm. He was built in a way to where he was the right size of a dude that could have had the limberness to do what he looked like he was doing.
Yep.
And I think that his intensity was just a little higher than almost everybody else so far that's gone into it.
Like PCT intensity.
I feel like Derek's pushing his intensity there. He's starting to push his intensity a little bit more, I've noticed.
I agree.
And he's moving some big steel.
Yeah, he's very impressive. He's even when he was a kid, even when he was much younger on the board, he was impressive. But yeah, he's way beyond that now.
Yeah, and he's always been highly involved in it. He has a lot of posts there, and he posted a lot when he was when he was younger. So, you know, he's
Yeah.
definitely got good knowledge behind it. Absolutely. So
Nice.
that'll be a fun
You know,
person.
one other person I was thinking of was Josh Dale. He's not technically active anymore in grip.
Josh,
You know who he is?
No, I don't.
He's a fantastic guy. He's actually an arm wrestler, but he has closed the 4 in a contest.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So with a parallel set, he clicked it. I could hear it across the room. It was at the 2000
Across the room. That's crazy.
the 2005 or the 2006 Backyard Bastard Bash. 3 guys closed a 4.
You know what that one was rated at?
198, I want to say.
Oh, so it was one of the lighter ones compared to the modern.
Yeah, lighter, but still massive.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
all the modern ones are coming in at like 215 or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
It's out of the realm of what everybody's doing, honestly.
Yeah, Josh is a buddy that has gone to he has done a bunch of grip contests too. And he was an elite bender, pretty much elite at everything. So big
That's
blob guy.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, the blob's crazy, man. That is a tough one to get down. I'm definitely struggling with some blob lifts, but it's fun.
Yeah, me too. That's something that didn't come easy for me. I eventually did the blob, but yeah, it wasn't one of those things that was just like, oh, I got it right away. Yeah, not at all.
Yeah, we have the shot loaded one from Ryan.
Yeah, stronger grip. Nice.
Yeah, and it's a great device. I love that thing. It holds chalk like crazy, man. The way he textures it, it's just fantastic.
Yeah.
But we've loaded that up to, I don't know, I think I got it at about 30 pounds. And I wasn't able to get it much higher than that. I wasn't able to get it 35 or so, but whatever, getting there.
How does that compare to an actual blob?
I've never had my hands on a real blob.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I had my hands on a Legacy York not too long ago, 45. And it's about the same size, I'd say.
Okay.
Yeah, very,
That's
very
cool.
similar dimensions. I feel like it's slightly more rounded, though.
I've seen pictures of it. I just haven't put my hands on it. Oh, yeah.
I feel like it has a little more round to it than a real blob.
I like that. Yeah, it does.
Okay. So that was pretty well. But yeah, that's a fun device too. That's actually, when I saw that, that's what inspired me to how to build the blob trainers, the concrete ones that we built.
Yeah, nice.
So do you have any questions for us, Couch Potato Strong?
I do not. I've enjoyed the podcasts and looking at your videos, reading things about you guys. It's been great. And of course, I like your Instagram too. So
Well, thanks.
Yep.
We have a lot more fun stuff coming up soon.
Excellent.
You saw our axle twirling probably yesterday.
Yeah.
That's a
Yep.
precursor to some crazy stuff we have coming up.
Yeah, I can't imagine some of it. It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's been great talking to you guys, though.
Well, thank you. We appreciate you having us, being on our channel. Absolutely.
Awesome. Have a great day. Thank you very much.
Real quick, any other advice you want to give to beginners starting out?
Yes, I would say don't do some of the stuff I did, which is trying to bend everything super hard all the time. Don't do that.
I did
Don't
that
wreck
after I got the red nail.
Of course.
I
Yeah.
was excited. I'm like, oh, I'm going to go do this 5-inch piece of quarter taped to a piece of 3/16.
Oh,
See how that
God.
goes. That was so much harder than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah. I would tell upcoming anybody starting to take care of your joints. Don't be an idiot. Otherwise, the stuff is great. It is. It's not. I don't blame anything bending wise for hurting my shoulders. It was more of a just being stupid and bending hundreds of wrenches. That's what it was. Yep. Yeah. Stick
You
to
just gotta
it.
pay attention to your body.
Yes. And have fun with it. Grippers are fun. Everything. All of this is fun.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Right on. Thanks for being on. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you. Have a great day.
You too.
Bye.
Have a great day.
Say bye to Peaches too.
Absolutely.